Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 286 of Dial the Gate, the Stargate Oral History Project. My name is David Reed. Appreciate you being here with me today. Stargate, the feature film, turns 30 tomorrow, and we, in celebration here on Dial the Gate, have brought together a few wonderful folks that I am thrilled to share with you now. And that's the wrong button. There's the right button. Hello, panelists, and thank you so much for joining me today. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
I am privileged to call this man my friend. There's not many of the Stargate cast that I'm acquainted with many of them, but I am privileged to call this man my friend, Mr. Tom McBeath, Harry Maybourne, also Archon the First, his official title. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us for this episode. How are you?
My pleasure. For an old guy, I'm like 120%.
Tom is going to be giving the questions today. We've got about 25 questions, about 5 rounds prepared for you. We may not get to all of them, but everyone on board is going to be participating. Linda Gategaber Fury, my moderator, or my producer, is actually going to be keeping score for everybody. How are you, Linda?
I'm good. How many points am I giving people per question?
2.
2 points. Got it.
Because I want to, as grand overseer of all of this, I want to, if it's a really difficult question and they get part of it right, I want to be able to say that they get 1 point. Does everyone agree that that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if it's a really interesting answer, they should get 1 point too, as well. Very creative.
Tom,
Yeah.
I will give you permission over that. So I give you permission to say yes, that's all right. And like I said in your email, Tom, if there's anything that spurs the memory, bring us all to a grinding halt and tell us the story, because we're here to be with you as well.
Okay,
So,
I will.
I'm
Absolutely.
sad this isn't like a Maybourne King Archon the First questionnaire, you know.
Well, don't count on too much inspiration for me. I'm a pretty dull old guy.
That's not true.
No, you're not.
All right.
No self-deprecation coming from you, Tom.
So everyone has been paired into groups. You are thusly Jeremy and Sonia, Summer and Alan, Ritu, Charlie, Jeff Gulka, and Marcia Middleton, Harris and Retro Badger, and Nicole Rodriguez Galdo and Frederick Marcoux.
I get bread. Yay.
You do.
I'm not bread yet.
Absolutely.
This is
Jeremy
exciting.
Heiner, how are you, sir?
I am well. How are you?
All things are well in this neck of this corner of the world. Great to have you back.
Yeah. And hey, Tom. I didn't get to say hi earlier, but I'm Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Loved your character. You played a
Oh.
great villain, and I'm happy that you're here today.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Sonia Mellenkopf of Nerdy Novelty Designs, welcome back.
Thank you.
How are
Hi,
ya?
it's been so long. I saw you at LA Comic Con.
I know. It's been a wild year for cons, but
It's not just me. Spock's here too.
Oh.
Say hi.
Wow.
Got a few cats in the room here. A couple of dogs, but the dogs aren't going to be as intrusive. Hopefully. Summer Roy, how are you? And how was the con?
It was really great. I got to see a lot of great people yesterday. Got to talk with Richard Dean Anderson, Ben Browder. Sorry, I'm so tired. Ben Browder. I met
Lexa
him
Doeg. Yeah.
Lexa and Terrell Roth, and let's see, I'm missing somebody.
Michael Shanks.
Michael Shanks.
Michael Shanks. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
yeah.
where was that? Was it in Austin?
it was in San Antonio
San
at Space
Antonio.
Con.
Okay, perfect. Very good.
Yeah.
Hello from down under, Alan Gowan representing the Aussies today by himself.
David, I'm well. I'm still waking up. It's 6 a.m., so it's not as bad as what it's been in the past for the competitions. But I'm doing well. And it's great to see everyone again. They're way too long between videos to catch up with everyone.
I know. I appreciate you guys making the time all the same. Ritu Charlie himself, Jeff Gulka, is joining us. How are you, Jeff?
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I am well. Just so you know, you are the square directly above Nicole. So if you want to beat on her head, be my guest. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Marcia Middleton. Hello. How are you?
Hi, I am fine. I am here with, this is my pet. This is Mimsy, and Mimsy is stargating. See?
Aww.
This is actually a keychain from Stargate the movie, and
Really?
I added my own chain.
Wow.
So, yeah,
That's very
he's my
cool.
buddy.
Oh, well, welcome to Mimsy. Harris McGrade of SciTrek. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Howdy, howdy. I also didn't get to say hi a second ago, Tom. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Super excited.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Retro Badger himself, Badger
Hello.
from the UK, from Retro
Hi.
Badger Gaming channel on YouTube. He blows up starships and usually
I do it for a
avoids getting himself blown up.
Yes, I'm doing well, thanks. I cannot believe it's been 30 years since the movie came out. It's like, where's the time gone?
Right? Exactly.
And,
Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm in a quiz with Tom McBeath and Ritu Charlie. It's, feels like a dream. It's like a surreal dream.
Well, we're glad to have you back, man. Nicole Rodriguez
Thanks.
Galdo of Wormhole Extremists. Welcome, Nicole.
Boo.
Hello. Did you spoo me, Jeff? So Jeff's like I'm going to say it right now. You're like my best friend now. We spend so much time together.
Ditto.
So yeah, the trivia pressure is going to be on because we don't, we tend to compete really aggressively for trivia poo, as we call it.
Well, he
so.
has to compete aggressively to keep up with you.
Well, you should see how aggressive it gets in the last rounds of Trivial Pursuit. It's bad. So
Let her win yesterday to build
You
her
did not,
confidence
no.
so I can tear it down today.
whatever.
Frederick.
But I want to say as well, Evie, she's missing today.
She is.
Having fun. Hope she's having a good time.
Absolutely. Frederick Marcoux, my webmaster. Welcome back, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and you guys?
All is good down here. Are you getting ready for winter?
I think so. I mean, I'm teamed with Nicole, so we probably have that in the bag.
All right, there you go. All right, Tom. So this is your first game of trivia. So this is how it works. And for the folks out there who have not seen one before, because we want to keep things moving along a little bit, I pair people now into groups. So you're going to have Jeremy and Sonia, who are represented in the top left here, followed by, of course, Summer and Alan, Jeff and Marcia, Harris and Badger, Nicole and Frederick. And then Linda over here is going to be my scorekeeper as well. So we've got the questions listed on our end, Tom, and we're going to go through them by rounds. And then at the end of each round, we will assess the score. 2 points possible for each question. And that's what we've got there. Does anyone have any questions about this process? Have I missed anything?
No, I just want to say to Jeremy, I apologize because I'm really bad at trivia. So
It's all good.
All right, guys. So yeah, I used ChatGPT to randomize you, and then used it as well to organize the questions so that you won't be getting a question that you created. Because everyone in this group has submitted questions. A couple of the questions were identical, certain candy bars and such. So if you want to bring up that I after the fact, if you want to bring up that I also submitted that question, you may do so.
I deliberately didn't because I knew everyone else was going to pick it, so I didn't.
Jeez. All right, Tom. Round one. So go ahead and announce this. You can announce who the question is from. And I'll say round one, we're going to first start off with Jeremy and Sonia.
Yes, that's correct.
Sweet.
And this is a question from Summer. Where were the exterior desert scenes filmed?
Ooh, I know this one.
okay, good because I don't know filming locations.
That's actually one question I asked. So it's in Yuma, Arizona.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You remember what month?
I do not. But I will say
Summer?
Yuma is like an hour and a half or a couple hours from where I live. So
Yep. Wow. Absolutely. Summer, what month was
It was
it?
in June.
It says you told me July.
July. Excuse me. July. Yes.
It was in the off season, so they didn't have all of the June buggies on the.
Yes, it was July. Yes.
It's so darn hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been probably 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
Easily.
Gross.
All right, Linda, 2 points for him.
Alrighty.
All right. The next question is going to Summer and Alan.
Let's go.
Okay, this question is from Nicole. What was the project name for the Stargate program in the film?
I know this one, Summer.
I'm gonna let you have it, Alan. Go for it.
It's Project Giza.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
There we go.
You can't get me, Nick.
Oh boy.
No, I never knew it until I watched the movie and I looked on the screen in the background. So that was a fun surprise.
There's a couple of details
question.
for sure that are harder to tell, but if you're really paying attention, you can definitely see them. Jeff and Marcia, your question is next.
Oh boy.
And this question is also from Nicole. According to the film, what mountain plays the setting for the underground facility?
I know this one.
I think I remember because I just watched it yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, that's not the same place."
Right.
I believe it was.
Marcia, you want to check with each other before you give the answer.
How do we check with each other without other people listening?
Because you guys are the
Doesn't
ones
impact us.
who are
Just pretend we're not.
I think I know.
watched it yesterday, and I had this in my brain, and then it flew out.
Okay, I think it was like Creek Mountain. Does that
That's
sound
it.
right?
That's right.
Okay, that's the final answer.
Final answer.
That's a good one.
That's
Was it
right. That's it.
Hey.
We were all like, wait a second.
I know. Harris
That's not
and
right.
Badger.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 4. This is from Jeremy. According to the monitors inside the complex, where has the Stargate achieved a target lock?
Ooh.
The location. Where has it achieved a target lock?
Surely that's.
I want to say Abydos, but I know that's not technical.
That's too easy,
That's,
isn't it?
that's
Surely.
technically the correct, but the beam has locked somewhere blank.
Oh. I know it was in another galaxy. Can't quite remember.
I don't know. This
It was
one might be
Abydos,
tricky.
the planet, of course, but it
Yeah.
was on the other side of the known universe.
I don't know.
I would just have to say Abydos. That's all I can think of.
Abydos' final answer.
Is there an opportunity to steal? Yeah, is there an
Would
opportunity
you guys
to steal?
like the opportunity
No.
to steal?
Are you looking for the name of the galaxy? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's
Yeah, I
stealing?
would
Because
love to
usually
steal that,
we follow
because
up
I
with
know
whoever's
that.
after.
For this episode, I'm not going to allow stealing because
Smart.
I've been very precise in allotting the questions for everybody. So, but I will not allow Nicole, if you would like to answer it, I will let you answer it, but you're not going to get a point for it.
That's fine. It was the Kalium Galaxy, wasn't it?
That's it.
Do they get 1 point for Abydos?
I
Abydos
was
wasn't
looking for
named
it wasn't named in the film. That's correct, Marcia. I'm looking for the Kalium Galaxy.
Next round we got.
That's it. You got 4 more to go. So, all right, Nicole and Frederick. The next question is to you guys.
This is a question from Summer. Who tried to sue the original Stargate movie for $140 million?
I didn't realize we were doing facts from outside the movie.
And why?
I never even heard about that.
I didn't even. I want it noted I wasn't even born, so I want to throw the age card in.
There are a couple of harder ones thrown in. So
this is a very mean one. You said someone tried to sue them for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it like a member of the cast or the crew?
I don't think we can give us clues.
It was a lawsuit filed in 1996 which claimed the movie was based off a script he had written and had submitted to Fox in 1984 called Egyptscape.
Wow.
The case.
I'm going to assume it's some sort of writer director from that kind of era. I don't know who it would be. The only guess I can make is potentially like the guy who did the original Battlestar. But I don't know what his name is. So that would be my only guess.
Yeah,
So
I don't
Fred-
know either. I don't know either. I didn't even ever heard about that story.
Yeah.
Fair point, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Tom, who is it?
We can
The
see.
guy's name was Omar Zudi.
Wow.
They actually settled out of court too.
We didn't get
for
that
50,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
case
wasn't
ended up
much,
being
yeah.
settled out of court in 1997 for $50,000.
Interesting.
So yeah,
And he was asking for 140 million.
That's a lot of money.
50,000 deal.
And his
Yeah.
last name is spelt Zuhdi. Zudi.
yeah.
Want to go research this guy in anger now that I've got this question not right.
Where's my pen?
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's two different
I'm
spellings.
bitter now.
There's a Zudu and a
Summer,
Yes.
I'm really bitter with you for picking location stuff, and
Sorry.
I get the location question. No, so no location. I get the outer film question. You're a monster.
It's unraveling already.
All right, Linda, where are we at? That was round one.
Jeremy and Sonia, Summer and Alan, and Jeff and Marcia are all tied for 2 at this point.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Guys ready for round two?
And,
We're
and,
ready.
Do it.
and Harrison Badger and Nicole and Frederick are also tied with 0.
Rude.
Shot fired.
Be mean
Just
and
got
put that out.
roasted by Tom.
Wow, he is over the target.
Woo.
I'd expect
Round
nothing
two.
more
Yeah.
from Maybourne.
Yeah.
Wow.
Round
All right. Jeremy and Sonia, back to you guys.
Sweet.
The question is from Frederick. What was the color of Ra's cat?
It was like okay, this is just me chatting with Jeremy. It was like, I think like an Abyssinian. It's like a brownish, tannish. I remember it
Yeah.
being like, the kitty.
It was a hairless cat.
It was not a hairless cat.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
had
I
hair.
mean,
Guys, give me a
Yeah.
more basic color.
yeah, I mean, I
Brown?
think it was like brown or tan. I
Yeah.
just watched the movie.
I'm like pretty sure it was an Abyssinian. So like, I don't know what color are those.
Tom,
Brown, tan, reddish.
that's close enough for me, Tom. Go ahead and give the answer.
Well, the answer that I have on the page is orange.
Yeah,
I mean, I said brown, tan, reddish.
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's a
Right?
hard one.
There
It
you
was
go.
ginger. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
I would call that orange.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Frederick.
Me too.
So is
Thanks
that
for
2
giving me a
points?
cat question.
Thank ChatGPT.
Thanks for
They
not giving me a
randomized
cat
all of
question.
them.
Just to make sure, keep your cats out of Springfield too. So.
Oh, jeez. All right.
2 points to them, David?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Summer and Alan, the next question is to
Let's
you.
go.
And I think it may be my question.
Ooh.
Question from David. Yes. While the film was being shot, who was Jade Davison actually playing?
Who is Jay David?
Well,
Wally-
he played Ra, but
Ra, yeah.
and also the villager that
Yeah,
Who-
before he was Ra, he was the
Yeah.
villager that was abducted.
Tom, can you repeat the question?
Okay. While the film was being shot, who was Jade Davison actually playing? Probably should have been besides Ra.
That is
But-
that is the insinuation. This is
Okay.
from behind the scenes information.
so obviously they've I mean, was the character different originally?
Yeah, and if so, I honestly don't know. I know that he played, the villager before he was abducted. But if he had another part in the film,
It's not it's the same part.
I know that when he originally did dialogue, he didn't speak English. I mean, he did speak English. They went back over it in the film, and
Okay.
he had to do Egyptian dialogue, and they altered his voice and his eyes. But I'm not sure I really understand the other part of the
Yeah,
question.
they didn't bring it up in the.
He was not playing Ra. He was playing someone else. So, does anyone know?
The same character, but the same. He was playing the same person, but it was a different character.
Okay. My only guess would be another. Now, you're not talking about the like original Alien thing,
Right.
That's what you're talking about.
No.
That was the race that was supposedly connected to Thor. So it was actually supposed to be that kind of alien race, but then they changed it in the series to be more of a Goa'uld parasite. But it wasn't Goa'uld at first. It was like an offset of Thor, and I cannot remember the exact name. I want to say it started with the.
So while the film
Sounds
was,
like they're just asking for the Egyptian god.
so
right?
while the film was being shot, Tom, what is my answer?
Your answer is one of Ra's lieutenants.
So.
Oh, I would.
So Dean
I
Devlin
didn't know
revealed that.
Oh.
And they changed him to the main character
because they needed to punch up. They needed to punch up his deadliness. So in post-production, they remade him instead of an envoy. They remade him Ra.
So he was there on behalf of
stuff, but I didn't know the lieutenant.
He wasn't actually the parasite looking for a host. That was all added at the end of production.
Right.
Wow.
I knew that, but I didn't know that
later.
the lieutenant part at all.
I'm learning so much.
There you go. Yeah. When he was abducted on the planet, he was literally abducted. He wasn't taken as a host.
Right.
So.
Do we get half a point for that? Because we knew that part. I didn't know the lieutenant part.
That is.
Is it too obvious?
That's a fair question. Who thinks that they should get 1 point instead of 2? Raise your hand.
Get 1 point.
Raise your hand if they should get. If they should get.
Voting.
You guys are too generous. Where's your competitive spirit, guys?
I'm Canadian.
I will give. That was a very hard question.
Very hard.
I will give them 1.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I felt my question was a hard question,
Your question
but you know,
was
whatever.
hard too.
Yours was.
Yeah. All right. Jeff and Marcia, the next question is yours.
Jeff, you suck.
Jeez.
And this question is also from David.
Uh-oh.
According to the film, what is the primary element of the Stargate?
Ooh.
I know.
Any ideas, Marcia?
Marcia, you're muted.
Oh.
There you go.
You missed all of my clever comments.
No.
Let's see. Repeat the question. We're on Jeopardy, right? Okay.
According to the film, what is the primary element of the Stargate?
It's also in the novels.
Oh.
I've never read the novels.
That's all right.
I don't think it wouldn't be Naquita at that point.
Correct. It's not Naquita at that point.
An unnamed element, an unnamed mineral. But I don't remember.
If they don't get it, I get to answer because I know this one.
I think, Alan, did you also know it as well?
I think I do. I'll wait to see what Linda says, and then we'll see if it's the same one.
Let's give them some time. I'm glad that we're throwing some hard ones in here.
That is a tough one. I legitimately have no idea. So, Marcia, this is all on you.
No pressure.
I'm trying to leaf through in my brain.
Wait, this was in the movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was listening out for it, and then my brain just never caught it. So
I was watching, and Nicole kept talking.
shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, that is a problem that she has.
I don't remember. And what was a Stargate made out of?
Linda, we need to move forward. Linda, what is it?
Quartz.
Quartz. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Quartz.
that.
The
When they go to the
computer
mine-
I think
in
it's
the
I think
handheld
it's Brown
device.
who says it.
Yeah.
Brown's computer says it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yep. Quartz primary
question.
element. And
Good
the
question,
novels
David.
represented as quartz crystal.
Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah.
I
Which is dead
apologize.
common, and they wouldn't be mining.
Okay. Nicole, would you have liked to have gotten that question?
I didn't know what it was.
There you go. So shut up.
Jeff and I watched it, and we both talked over it. He's saying I did, but he did too.
All right. Harrison Badger. Hey
You got
guys.
this.
Okay, now here's a really soft question from Nicole because she loves you all so much.
Oh,
Why did Daniel take the newspaper from the airman?
Brother.
Right.
I know this one.
Because he saw the
It was the
start of the
headline.
constellation. So it was
Oh.
Orion, wasn't it? He saw
I think
Orion.
it was Orion.
It
Yeah.
was Orion.
Hey,
I'm
Jeff,
with
we needed that question.
Mm.
Yeah, do you think that's the final answer, Harris?
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay, final answer. It's constellation, the star constellation, Orion.
Well, you didn't have to name the actual Orion,
Oh, right.
but it had
I went
constellations.
soft.
It was
Thank you.
constellations he recognized from the cartouche.
There we go.
Right.
And you said the word right, the fancy word.
Yep.
Good old cartouches.
Cartouches.
Are you having a good time, Tom?
So far.
He's just watching me
what
bully
happens.
people and everyone else bully me in return. So I hope he's having a good time.
You give as good as you get.
Damn
Nicole and Frederick.
Oh crap!
And here's an easy one from Jeremy. What is the name of the film in the Mexican market?
As a Spaniard, this is very upsetting
Yeah.
for me. So all I have to say about this, Fred, is that in Spanish, whenever it would come up in Spain, it would go really dramatically, a Stargate, in a very thick Spanish accent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the translation didn't really translate. However, the direct translation for Stargate to Spanish is Puerta de los Estrellas. So that's the only translation I could think of because it's the direct translation. But I'm sure they gave it a fancy name. Like with Star Wars, they called it Los Guerras de las Galaxias, which is like the Wars of the Stars. So I'm going to just assume it's Puerta de los Estrellas or something close. Do you have anything, Fred?
I have nothing. I
would
don't even
probably
speak
tell you
Spanish,
the
so I'll take
French.
your answer.
Yeah, what's the French one, Fred? Maybe we can
Yeah, what's it called in
match them up.
France?
In France,
In
yeah, I
Quebec.
think it's La Porte des Étoiles. It's La Porte
Yeah.
des Étoiles as well in Quebec.
All right.
Yeah.
And we had La Porte d'Atlantis.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think that's all we've got, David.
Don't we
Okay,
all
now
just
someone do
feel
the
a little
Italian.
bit fancier? Yeah. Anyone know Italian?
You put the two foreign people together. I want that noted.
Jeez. All right. So Tom, what is the full translation?
Well, it's probably worth at least 1 point.
It is. I'm giving them 1
La,
point.
Definitely.
La Puerto and del Tiempo.
The portal of time or the door of time.
Yeah.
The gate of time.
Damn.
Interesting.
Damn, I didn't know it was time.
Uh-huh.
But I
They
got gate.
mistranslated it in Spanish, so it really confused audiences in Mexico, particularly
Absolutely.
because they thought
Yeah,
it
'cause they
was
thought it was
a time travel story.
Yep.
Wow.
One of
I'd be pretty bummed.
Rob Cooper said that when they got on staff, one of the hardest things that they had to do about selling the concept to audiences was, what does the Stargate do? Because of things like that, people were confused, and it's like it's not dimensional, it's not temporal, it's just geographic. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad my Spanish half paid off.
There we go.
So a win is a win.
Thank God it did.
Linda, what are the totals at the end of round 2?
Okay, so Jeremy and Sonia are in the lead with 4 points. Summer and Alan have 3. Jeff and Marcia and Harris and Badger are tied at 2. And Nicole and Frederick have 1.
Guys, well done.
Winning last place.
Round 3.
It's a nice change.
I never win anymore.
Round 3.
Yeah. Before we start, Tom,
Yes.
you said you had mentioned something about the film before we had started. When was the last time you had seen it? And had you seen it in the theater?
Probably in the theater back at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
And before I was, I wasn't really a science buff, nor was I sort of caught up in the whole actor and movie thing. I just went to the movies just to watch stuff. And I look at, the bits that I saw, I probably will find it now. And I just thought that Spader was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I just went, my God, that was an amazing piece of acting. And I like the older lady as well. Like I really grabbed those two.
Vivica Lindfors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought she was really classy and just when the two of them got together and talked, I just found them really interesting. That they were actually talking to each other.
I loved that Shanks and Elizabeth Hoffman really carried the relationship well into SG1. I bought that they were the same characters on continuing the same journey, especially when she gets pissed at him for, oh, by the way, this thing is continuing and you haven't told me.
No, I never see. I don't even know enough about Stargate SG1 to even know that.
Well, you really should go back and watch a couple of seasons of that show, Tom. If you ever,
There's
if
one
the
good
spirit
episode.
ever moves
Really
you, because
good
there's some
show.
good ones.
That features
yeah,
it.
but if I get caught up in it, then what am I going to do with the rest of my life?
Hang out with us, my friend. Hang out with us.
Hang out with us.
Takes about a year to go through the series.
Jeff
Yes.
did. Jeff did after hanging out with us. Jeff and Nicole, went through it together, and Jeff can speak from personal experience as an actor on the show.
Yeah.
A heck of a show.
But I also going through the IMDb and the other stuff. The Kurt Russell character, I thought, well, there's two notes that an actor can play: really down and then smile at the end.
Right.
And, I just thought, wow, is that a fucking boring piece of acting?
And that's what Richard Dean Anderson had to start with going in to make the transition. So
yeah,
absolutely. All
yeah,
right.
but Spader really grabbed me, and I probably I probably will go find the movie now because I never knew this. I mean, I never knew who the Jay Davison guy was back then. He never stuck in my mind at all. And I do believe I remember seeing The Crying Game and going, my God, what a really interesting movie. But I only saw it once, and I don't remember the actors in it, except I remember how good the actors were, but I don't remember their names. So, and then reading some of his biography, you just go, my God, what a trip that kid must have gone through from when they sort of decided to offer him something. And then I did read the note in, I think it was on YouTube somewhere, that he didn't want to play the part. He was offered the part, and he just said no because he feels really uncomfortable being an actor in front of a camera. And finally they kept bugging him, and he finally said, "Okay, I'll do it for $1 million," because he thought they would say no, and they said yes.
Yep. Absolutely. Raise your hand if you've seen The Crying Game.
I've seen scenes.
I have not seen it.
And neither.
I think I'm going to have to watch it.
It's a tough film. It has a lot to say, boy.
Add it to the list,
Midnight
David.
Express tough film, or like along those lines.
It's
Just
very intense.
The politics of the time and the level of sort of human danger in the whole thing. And sort of based really in the political structure, the political things that was going on in Britain at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it has LGBTQ plus themes in it. He plays a transgender character.
Yeah, that's quite amazing. Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'll check it out. Round 3, Jeremy and Sonia. If you guys have questions for Tom, start thinking about them, because we'll come around and you guys in my gallery right now, not in the chat. Sorry, guys. You've had chances in the past. So, yeah. So the people who are with us now, if you have any questions for Tom later on, I'll invite you to ask them. So round 3, Jeremy and Sonia.
Okay. This is a question from Badger. Which actor appeared in both the Stargate movie and Stargate universe?
Universe. Oh, wait.
I'm all Sonia.
Well, I know Atlantis was Richard Kind.
Yes.
I mean, we know. How familiar are you with Universe, Jeremy?
Well, I actually asked the same question, so I know the answer.
Oh, geez. Okay, sorry, guys.
But Sonia, if you know, I mean, I'll let you see if you can figure it out.
I mean, the only actors that I don't know Universe enough. I've only seen it through once. So Eric Avari and Alexis Cruz were in SG-1. And
As
Richard
their
Kind-
characters. And
Right,
Richard
as
was
the same
different.
as the same characters. And then Richard Kind was in Atlantis as Lucius. But like who was in Universe? Can you give me a Jeremy, since you know, can you give me a hint?
Yeah, the character in
military?
Stargate was Ferretti. So who did Ferretti play in Universe? The character who played Ferretti. He
The actor.
also, yeah, he also played Inspector Gadget, if that helps at all.
Oh,
Wait,
Another
so
television
so
series that was Alien.
that was
Gadget
yeah,
2.
no. Oh my God. French
Did you watch
Stewart.
Third? There
French
you go.
Stewart.
Third
You
Rock
got
from the
it.
Sun.
There
The
you
big
go.
giant head.
I was like, wait
Yes.
a second. I always thought that French Stewart's character looked more like Jay Acavone's character, and I was like, why wasn't he Kowalski? Because like in my brain, they look so similar.
Oh, so
But they
Jay should have
brought
played
over-
Ferretti, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
But
Yeah,
in my
he
my
played-
brain, that's how that worked. But anyway.
And then we
Okay.
would have stopped years of complaining because his character was killed off.
I saw him at AAA once randomly, and I didn't say anything to him.
Jay or French?
Jay.
Oh, Jay's a good guy.
He's funny. He's a great guy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, Summer and Alan, you guys are next.
Let's
That
go,
was-
Summer.
that was a 2-pointer, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, this is a question from Badger. What brand chocolate bar did Daniel offer?
What would you do?
Do you want to go that one, Summer?
Nobody knows this one.
Klondike bar is wrong. Next question. No, I'm kidding.
I have this question.
I thought you said you removed questions about chocolate bars.
I removed duplicates.
Oh,
Fifth
duplicate.
Avenue.
Yeah, Fifth Avenue.
That's right. Well done,
Yeah.
guys.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever had one. A Fifth
And
Avenue
what kind
bar.
of cigarettes? And what
They're
kind of
yummy
cigarette?
if you
What
like
kind
peanut
of
butter.
cigarettes did he smoke?
Oh, I don't know.
Marlboro
Does
Marlboro
anyone
Red,
know?
Marlboro Reds. I know.
Camels.
No, it was Marlboro Red.
I was going to say camels.
He should have.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Mastiges.
the
He
question.
smokes mastiges.
I was gonna ask the question about Marlboro Reds, but
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that anyone would notice.
He could afford them
I noticed.
as a colonel. All right. Jeff and Marcia.
Oh, gee.
Ooh, here
You
we
got
go.
good questions like that one. I like that.
Yeah, what the hell?
Another question from Badger. Who composed the movie's score?
Ooh.
Win.
That one I know, I think.
Why don't I get this question?
David Arnold.
Nicole, be still. David Arnold.
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
Nice.
12 points.
Such an amazing score.
I was going on and on about it yesterday. It's so beautiful.
He's good. He was like 23, 24 at the time.
He was actually working in like a record store when they
Yeah.
approached him for this one too. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
It was used in quite a lot of things as well, wasn't it? It was used in like a lot of trailers for different movies.
Yeah, they mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Harrison Badger.
Yes, Harrison Badger. Round 3, question 4 from Frederick. What is the baseball team on Charlie's shirt in his picture in his bedroom?
Ooh.
I know.
Good God.
Me too.
Fred, you're a monster.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I love
Let's
Like
see.
a t-ball team, like.
I'd like to
Baseball.
point out there's faultiness in the question though.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you said Charlie instead of Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hope that's not a question.
okay.
It's not.
I don't really know many baseball teams. I don't know about you.
I think it's his team. I think it's a little league team.
No. Oh my God,
It's
I know this
Lily?
one. Wait,
No,
I know
no.
this one. Sorry. Go on.
Because he's wearing it. Because he's
Red
got
Sox.
a.
Is Red Sox? Is that a baseball team?
But it's
No?
a little
Yeah.
league. It's a little league team.
Oh right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a little league team. Would anyone
That
else
doesn't
agree?
help.
It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's not.
It's
It-
not.
Well, I mean,
no,
it's-
no.
It can't have the same name?
Yeah, they have the
Well,
same.
it
but it doesn't
could,
have the
but
same
it's the
logo.
logo for.
I don't think he was
team.
playing for that team. So I
Well,
think that
he
was
was a
supposed to
fan
be
of the
his.
team.
Okay, that could be too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the little kids
think-
running around San Diego with their Friars wear on. They
Let's
all
think.
have
So
the
he-
uniforms that they wear.
Did he
to
live in
school.
Arizona? Did Jack O'Neill live in Arizona?
We can't talk. I don't want to talk about that at the moment. So
Oh, sorry.
it's not actually stated where he lives.
I was about to say
Okay.
it feels more almost Pacific Northwest if I had to guess, just because there's so much greenery around it. But
Yeah, we don't have like fall leaves, and there's lots of fall leaves in the movie at O'Neill's house.
Yep.
Not even Pacific Northwest, could be Northeast as well.
Right.
Who? Raise your hand if you have the answer. If you think you've got the answer, Sonia,
I
what's
know.
the answer?
The Mets.
There it is.
Oh.
The Mets.
You think it's the New York Mets? Is it the same? Is it the same jersey?
It's the
No,
same
it's
logo,
not.
and
Yeah.
the cap
Yeah.
has the.
Okay. Well, spank me,
Right.
Rosie. There you go.
Northeast.
Wow.
I
So
didn't
when-
know that. I thought that was his own team because you can infer that he has his own team based on his trophies. So
Yeah.
very good. Nicole and Frederick.
God.
Okay, Nicole and Frederick. Question from Harris. In the opening Egyptian scene, the Abydos mine scene and the desert battles, what besides extras were used as stand-ins to fill in the crowd?
I'm sick of these behind the scenes questions that I don't know the answers to.
I can tell you, I did not give them to you. ChatGPT did. So
ChatGPT knows somehow.
Who asked this question?
yeah,
Harris?
Who submitted it?
Yeah.
Did they just use like
Blame me
fake
this
cardboard
time.
people?
I would assume it's just a bunch of cardboard cutouts. It's not going to be like
That or
Q-tips
scarecrows.
like George Lucas, but
That or what,
Yeah.
Frederick?
Scarecrows.
Yeah, I mean it could be scarecrows and cardboard cutouts. Either way, some sort
Tom?
of wheaty paper man.
I'm giving them 2 points.
I would give them 2 points too.
Did Fred get it?
That's
What's the answer, Tom?
Scarecrows and mannequins.
You say scarecrows, I give you 2 points. Absolutely. That's well done.
I'm sure
Nice.
some of them were I'm sure some of them were cardboard cutouts too.
Yeah, they were.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you.
I know. I knew you would.
Linda, we're at the end of round 3. Where are we?
Yeah. Jeremy and Sonia are still leading with 6. Summer and Alan are still chasing them hard with 5. Jeff and Marcia have 4. Harris and Badger have 2, and Nicole and Frederick are creeping up with 3.
There we go.
I believe I'm going to lose to Jeff on a Stargate quiz.
Lockwatcher in the chat said, camels? Gene Diotta, dressed up broomsticks? Gene Diotta, I'm giving myself 2 points. All right. All right. That's for round 3. Does anyone have a question for Tom?
I do.
Go ahead, Nicole. You've met him once.
Yeah, I know, but I was thinking about it, because I think Tom looks handsome in every outfit he wears throughout the show. I wanted to know, what was the more comfortable outfit to wear? Your casual stuff, your military stuff, or King Archon?
Well, the military stuff, I never felt like I was a military person. So I always felt like I was sort of a cardboard cutout. And then when I first went into civvy clothes, I thought, "Oh, this is crazy!" With the shorts and the long socks and I thought, "Oh man, they're making me look so goofy."
But first you had to go in death row clothes.
Yeah.
Yes, there was that. But then when they got really casual, I did enjoy that, and the Archon stuff was fun. And all you could go, you just have to grab that stuff and run with it. So if I had to do 25 episodes with it, I'd probably go, come on, can't we change this a tad?
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Archon costume felt like it was actually tailored like directly for you, but it was really tight as well. like really cut in.
Well, I don't know how. I may have gone in for a costume fitting, but it was, when I first got the fur on and stuff, I was just like, woo, woo. And that first reveal was just so bizarre.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely in his element.
The Archon outfit is my favorite. So
It's a good one.
Anyone else?
When we were up in Vancouver and driving to the location we filmed at, you showed me the Laughing Man statue that we drove by there, and you pointed it out to me because I told you I love art. What's your favorite art museum in Vancouver? What should I see when I go up there and have non-Stargate time?
Well, like the Anthropology Museum out at UBC is really fantastic.
Okay.
The Vancouver Art Gallery can, depending on what's there, there's always some really interesting stuff there. Now, there's and I haven't been to this one up in, come on, Tom, up above Squamish, Whistler. There's a gallery up there that has some really neat Canadian stuff in it. And it's a small one. And I haven't been there, but I've just seen some of the stuff every once in a while. They'll put up what they might have there. Other than that, I suppose I could do some research for you. Some of the street stuff is really like the Laughing Guys. That circle is still there and has been gifted to the city, so it will probably remain there forever. And
and I love it. That was really fun to see. I do sculpture, so that's like
the folks there's folks there that just delight in it every day you walk by. There's people taking pictures, climbing on it. A lot of the finish is worn off on a lot of them. It's down to silver now, or chrome rather. Well, not really chrome, but silver instead of the bronze color. It's really a beautiful piece.
We've got in the chat, Tubby Guts says, Tom, please come to Fan Expo in Calgary.
I would love to get invited. I don't get invited much because it got so that the first few I went to were really great because I thought they really looked after the fans and they really looked after the guests. And although I'm kind of a secondary guest, now when you do get invited, they pay you a lot less, but they give you opportunities to make more money by jumping on a bus with people and going on tours. Well, I'm really a lousy entertainer. I can't stand up and be a joker. I don't have fast stuff coming out of my mouth all the time. I love script and that kind of stuff. So, and I love being prepared. And when you sort of get into an area where you have to just be on your toes and dancing and stuff, that's not my bag. So it's a lot of other actors' bags, and they can do that and they love it. And they also love making money, and they force themselves to learn how to do that. And I also think that that often the American ones especially don't treat the fans really well. They soak them for dough, and then they only allow them certain things with the guests and stuff, and they keep everything at arm's distance, and I just find that just kind of usurious.
I just went to a convention yesterday. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Sonia. Go ahead.
I was just saying everything's monetized at cons.
It feels that way now. Like I know the first few I went to in Britain were so much fun, and maybe we were in danger of being molested. I don't know. I never got molested, but I enjoyed sitting in the bar with the fans, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed running into them in the hallways and having lunch with them and that kind of stuff. And
yesterday with RDA, it was after convention hours. He was still signing autographs because he felt that really important to spend time with.
He takes his time.
Yeah. And in the early days he didn't go to them.
No, but he's found it now.
Not at all.
Yeah, which is really great, and it's just so warm. And I still have a lot of Facebook friends from the cons, the Gate Con. I've been to a couple of Gate Cons here, and
That's the guy.
yeah, and I really enjoyed them. I didn't go to the first few because my agent at the time says, "No, you're not going. They don't pay you," and so I never even looked into it. And had I known it was a fundraiser. And I didn't pay enough attention to it to know that. And when I know they're fundraisers and they're raising funds for good stuff, I'll go for nothing. You know,
Absolutely.
It's
all right,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Ready for round 4?
Ready.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy and Sonia, you are up.
Okay, here we go. This question's from Harris. Which film actors would also appear in SG1 in the same roles?
Well, I said those earlier. You want to repeat them, Jeremy?
I mean,
Just give them the points.
obviously Alexa Cruz.
Alexis.
Alexis.
Lexa do
Who
it.
else?
Eric Avari.
There we go.
There's
Yeah.
a 2-pointer. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those questions are way too easy.
There have been some really easy ones in here. I'm getting bullied as always. Where is right? I'm gonna wear all the way to the end, Jeff.
Don't you always win, Nicole?
I haven't won in about 3 years, I think. I won 1 or 2 early and that's it. So
You won with me when we were on a
no,
team.
we didn't.
Didn't we?
No, you said this last
It's a
time. We didn't win.
travesty.
We just did a really good job.
Nicole, I think you won by yourself, so there you go. So
And
Summer.
That's why David stopped doing individuals and went teams, because you kept winning.
Well, no, we had too many people. It would take too long to get around to people. I want people to be able to participate more. So
That's
Yeah,
your
and you
excuse,
see-
and you're sticking to it.
Yeah. Well, you see, the problem that you're not winning enough, Nicole, is
Oh.
you haven't paid enough attention as we've gone.
Tom, don't make me dislike you, Tom.
jeez, because she will if you threaten her with a good time. All right, Summer and Alan.
Let's
Okay,
go, Summer.
question from Frederick. What is the name of the newspaper that Daniel steals from the guard?
Oh,
That's a good
I
one.
paid attention to everything on that newspaper except the name of the newspaper.
Thank you. I was just about to say, I knew, I even asked the Orion question as well.
Oh,
I
the
had to-
question
if I
had
may
been, what was
insert-
the story on the back page?
Yeah.
No problems.
So the thing is, Frederick Frederick, you got the section right, but you got the name of the newspaper wrong. I had to go back in the film and check.
So this
Yeah.
this should be a null and void question, and we should have a different
Yeah,
one.
I agree.
But it's really a question from Frederick and David.
They're in Colorado, right? Well, I mean, is Creek Mountain still in? Creek Mountain is still in Colorado, or was that in a
Yeah.
different state than Cheyenne?
It's in Colorado.
Okay, so can we assume maybe it was Colorado? But even
don't-
then, normally
I
Washington
don't think it's a
Post.
mainstream newspaper, though.
Yeah, so maybe like Washington Post or Washington Times, I think is like a
No, I don't think it's a. I don't think it's one of the real. It might be a real one, but just the type of stories that were on it. It's more like a. No, what do you call that? What do you call your newspapers in the UK? The ones that are just conspiracy theories.
Tabloids?
Tabloids. Yeah, it's sort of like a tabloid, I think, but I don't know.
Does anyone know the answer?
I do not know.
I have a guess, but I may be wrong.
What do you think, Linda?
Is it the Guardian?
No.
No.
Tom, what is
Okay. Then.
The answer is the Denver Post.
Ooh.
Oh.
it? The Denver Post, which
Colorado
was
Parading.
founded in
That's a point.
1892 and has a circulation of nearly 60,000. So
Wow.
it's a
But
pretty.
I will ask.
Colorado?
Of course.
I will ask this one here. The section he is interested in is called.
Anyone know?
The one
Besides
the one that
Frederick?
the one that he was reading?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the section he was interested in the Denver Post. Do you know what that section was called?
I guess like horoscopes or something.
Oh, the one that Daniel was interested in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it looked like the horoscope section to me, but I could be wrong.
Alan?
No. I can tell you the story on the back page.
I was just trying to find a way of giving an extra,
Tom, what is
point.
it?
It was called The Universe Today.
Oh well, thank you for trying. Really appreciate the appreciate the effort.
All right,
Jeff and Marcia.
That was a 0-pointer. Wow.
Wow, thanks, Tom.
I even tried to help by making a random guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
Nicole, aren't you happy that you wouldn't have gotten it right?
Sure. Yeah, let's take it like that, David. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a good question.
Okay, here we go. Question 3. What design do we see on O'Neill's son's bed sheets?
Ooh.
I
This
know
is from Fred.
That
I didn't know.
I do
I
not.
wrote that one too.
I have Jeff. I have no idea. I can guess.
I'll say it's foreshadowing.
Ooh, maybe some sort of pyramids or stars.
Pyramid stars, foreshadowing. What else could they be foreshadowing other than pyramids and things like that, or ships, or mastages?
Could be spaceships.
Those darn
Kids
messages.
like spaceships.
Just Fifth Avenue chocolate bars all over the bed.
That's funny.
Oh, crapola.
Hmm.
I'll go with Jeff with what you said because
Well, kids like spaceships and
I would say-
spaceships. Yeah, maybe. Is that agreeable? Either spaceships or pyramids.
Yeah,
Okay, Tom, what's the answer?
Star Wars.
It's hieroglyphics.
Ooh.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
That's a good one.
Me neither. I did
Yeah.
not pick that up when I was watching.
Jeff, we
Yeah.
should have paid more attention.
I know. Well, if you weren't talking so much.
Shut up, Jeff.
Wow.
You get no
Well,
points.
okay then.
Well, Jeff and Marcia and Harrison Badger and Nicole and Frederick are now all got the Zeros Club.
Ugh.
You're not
Yay.
alone anymore. You're not alone anymore, Nicole.
Tom's kind of mean, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. Come back.
I mean, he is Maybourne, so.
Oh,
Hey, but
it's
There you
perfect.
go.
every day of the week. Can't you just take one day off?
It's insubordination major. Harrison Badger, question to you.
Okay, question from Summer. Before James Spader, who was offered to play Daniel Jackson?
Ooh.
I can't believe this.
I couldn't.
I didn't either.
Oh, you know, I've
Isn't
heard
it-
of this before, but I just
I want to say it's like Will Smith or like Denzel or somebody like that. It's
That'd have been a different show.
yeah.
I think it's somebody pretty famous.
I don't know. His name
Well,
seems
no, I
too
might be
big.
thinking of Colonel O'Neill. The question was before
For
Spader, right?
Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel Jackson we're looking for.
I swear I was just reading this literally yesterday.
Summer, where did you get that answer?
It was in the IMDb facts.
Okay.
That's where I
That
was
is a
reading.
tricky one.
So according to IMDb,
According to IMDb.
which sometimes is incorrect, but according to IMDb.
Okay, so let's
It is
try and
also on the
think
wiki.
of actors who were big around that time. Well, like you said, Will Smith, he was big around then. Independence
But
Day.
I think he was offered O'Neill first. I think.
Oh,
I think that was for Daniel.
all right.
Because I do remember reading that fact, going through IMDb and looking through everything. I just can't remember the other half of it.
Hmm.
The important half.
Well, Stargate's kind of linked to Independence Day, isn't it? With the writers, is that correct?
So would
Roland,
a Goldblum or something, maybe?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We could say Will Smith.
Okay.
If it
That's
was
all we've got.
Goldblum, I would have watched it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, what's the answer?
Yeah.
Well, who was the actor was in the stage play that became a movie about the huge plant that ate people?
Yeah, a little shot
Oh,
before
Rick
us.
Moranis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Moranis.
According to
There you
IMDb,
Wow.
Rick Moranis was offered Stargate.
Wow.
Yeah,
No. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
he said
Weird,
they turned
eh?
it down because he wanted to do the Flintstones and make Little Giants. That's what
no
the
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
Right.
Oh.
I loved him in
would've
the
been-
Flintstones.
That would have been really different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole and Frederick.
Okay, question from Jeremy. Hang in there, Nicole. You'll get this one. What was the name of the hotel where Daniel Jackson gives his presentation?
Ooh.
Oh, you got
I want to note if this was SG1, be knocking it out of the park, but it's not. Is it?
No.
Fred,
Don't hate me.
Jeremy.
I don't know either.
This is a
I'm
good
gonna
question.
I'm gonna take you down a
question.
peg for a second, Jeremy. Which is last time we did this and we all paired up, you helped me 0. So
Wow.
this is yeah. So you suck.
Burn.
Burn.
Oh man, cutthroat.
Fred, just what do you think's a good hotel?
Maybe the Continental. I don't know. I just
I was thinking the
Getting names.
Marriott or something.
oh, Marriott could be valid as well.
Yeah.
It's clearly not a Best Western, so there's that.
Yeah.
I think that
I'd say we just grab one at random and like pray that we've got it right. So
Great Wolf Lodge.
which
Pick
one do you? Fred, do not help me. Okay, right. Which one do you want out of the 2 we've just named?
Let's go with the Marriott.
Okay, it's wrong, but you know.
It's clearly wrong.
Okay,
Yeah, it is
Tom.
wrong. Yeah, it
It
is
is
wrong. It's the Park Plaza Hotel. The Park Plaza.
All
Could have made
right.
a note of it. I should have written it down, but no, I didn't. I just glanced over it.
I tried to
Okay.
notice as well, but I couldn't.
Hey, only one team got points that time, and
Oh,
they've
wow.
just launched up to 8 points now.
Jeremy and Sonia. That's it.
Yeah.
Who else have we got, Linda? Besides Jeremy and Sonia at 8?
Summer and Ellen are still in second with 5 points. Jeff and Marcia have 4. Harris and Badger have 2. And
Hey.
Nicole and Frederick have 3.
Second to last. Yes.
Went in last place.
Shut up.
Jeez. All right.
Jeremy, I want it noted. I apologize for my previous comment. I do love you.
Love you too.
Jeremy and Sonia, round 5, the final round. You guys are starting us out.
This is a question from Nicole. They're always so easy
Or maybe it's not.
because she loves you all.
Uh-huh.
What was Stargate first? And what was Stargate first and incorrect translation? What
was
Oh.
Stargate's first incorrect translation? Yeah.
Oh, what was
Yeah,
Sorry,
when-
that was my bad.
When
You're
Daniel corrected it on the thing. Didn't he say
Right.
like Gate of Time or something? Or do you remember what?
Kat, do you have an answer?
Oh, the cat. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, sorry. He's thinking, but no, he doesn't have one.
No, the funny thing is I asked one of my questions is what's the correct translation? So what was the incorrect translation?
The correct translation is Stargate. What's the incorrect translation?
Something
Wait,
Gate to the Heavens. That
door? Was it like
is
doorway?
Door to the Heavens or something, wasn't it?
Tom,
Door
I'll
to
give
the
it to him.
Heavens.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
My questions were
Door
too
to
easy.
heaven.
Yeah, door to heaven. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna be so mean to you people next time. Just want that
Stairway to
noted.
Heaven.
Summer and Alan.
I thought you were going to wait for them to say.
I'm
that's
sorry.
what-
I'm clicking it along.
That's what I see. Okay. Summer and Allen. Question from
Yes.
Harris. The film accidentally uses which symbol instead of the Eye of Ra?
Yay!
Is it the eye? Is it the Eye of Horus? Or
It is, yeah. The Eye of
Yes,
Horus.
okay.
Yeah.
All
Whoa.
right, we're gonna go with that.
That's correct.
I didn't
Wow.
know that
Damn.
until I was talking with Kelly Vent earlier
Yeah.
this week, and she
Yep.
says I have
That
Horus.
was-
And I'm thinking to myself, that's
Oh.
wrong. And I'm like, I went and looked.
Yep.
I'm like,
No,
no,
that's right.
she's
They
right.
they miscall it the Eye of Ra through the
Wow.
whole film.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a pretty big blunder.
Right? Dr. Stuart Tyson Smith, where were you? You had one job.
they hired an Egyptologist for the movie.
That was him.
Everything was fine. The speech, except for the Eye of Horus.
Okay, so Jeff and Marcia.
And this is another gift from Nicole.
There
She
was
loves
actually more.
both.
This was actually a repeat question. So, but
Okay.
yes.
I'll say for Jeff and Marcia. How much time is the countdown on the nuke set?
Jeff and I talked about it last night. This is so unfair.
I feel it was. I think it was like 7. Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, yes. I think. Yeah. There you go.
I want it
almost-
noted that when we watched the film, Jeff went, "Hey, look, 7 minutes. Let's pay attention to that." And I was like, "Yeah."
I almost asked that one too. So
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Harris and Badger.
We're getting this one.
We have to.
I just got to find my page now. La 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 la. Where did it go? I'm just looking for my.
Oh, you printed them.
Yeah,
did.
I saw him pull them out. Tom, honestly, I respect it so much.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I had it. I use old paper to do it on, and I turned the paper upside down and used the blank side. But what's on the side that I printed it's from we print off what we audition here at home. So this is from, I don't know what show it's from, but it's a gerontologist, and it says the gerontologist is page 14, and it's only one line. And this is what the gerontologist is supposed to say if you're auditioning for it. This jerk-off doesn't know shit from Shinola. He's probably never changed his own oil. College boy, I need to pee. So that's on the
random.
back of this question. Here we go.
We're all going to go online and find the transcript for what that was assigned to.
Oh, boy. Use the AI to find it.
Yeah, put that in ChatGPT.
It gives you fake answers. All right.
Okay, Harrison Badger, your question from Summer. Roland Emmerich has a movie trademark he likes to include in all his films, including Stargate. What is it?
Let's think. Let's think of his
didn't
other
know this one.
movies.
I've got about a half a dozen sarcastic answers that pop in my head, but
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
natural disasters. I don't know. Like, we need to get this one too.
I know. Okay, let's think.
I mean, he's always got natural disasters. He's always got
Bad things happen.
bad things happen in a not so scientific themed way.
We're gonna have to guess, aren't we?
What's your first guess? I'm still conjuring it up.
I've
I'm
got
still
nothing.
getting
I've got nothing. I don't know.
Anthony Rowland.
Films in the
Pineapples?
sun. I don't know. Oh boy, something Egyptian. That's all I can think of. But I don't know. Completely wrong. Probably.
It's, well, I'll give you a hint.
Okay, we'll take it.
Yeah, please.
No, I won't give you a hint.
Yes, Tom, my guy. Yes, Tom.
Nicole was about to get very angry.
I was.
I know. I don't want to get her any more angry at me.
It's
You only
always a
have 2
real
points.
risk.
Go ahead and give them a hint.
Could it be the name of a character, perhaps?
Oh, it's not a JJ thing.
Maybe.
Okay,
Lynn's
it's
playing
not
a
necessarily like something he does in his films, like destroying something or a natural disaster or something. I guess I don't know. That's
No monuments get destroyed in Stargate.
yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, Tom. If
Sorry,
you guys,
I
does anyone know what it is besides the person who asked it?
I had ideas, but I don't know for sure.
I'm
Well,
going to answer.
It's
in
not
that-
that he always has an O'Neill, is it?
Now you
'Cause-
mentioned pineapple, and here in Vancouver, there's a time of year which is around now into February where we have what they call the Pineapple Express, which is now, but they've now changed the name to an atmospheric river.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when we get a lot of rain.
We just had one.
And that's the rain. And that's the answer, is rain.
Rain.
Because
Oh,
one
yeah.
scene,
He
like
said
to-
it in
you like
the
to do a rain
director's
scene.
commentary. Loves putting a rain scene in every movie.
Wow.
Yes.
So when
Natural
Jackson
disasters in that
got into
That's
the
right.
car,
That's right.
Oh.
He drew the short
No
straw.
way.
Yeah.
Because there's an
Okay.
O'Neill
Sorry,
and
Harris.
Godzilla, so I thought it might be that.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Stargate nod for sure. All right, guys, we've come to the last question.
the last
God.
question.
Oh.
Nicole
Oh,
and Frederick.
God. We're gonna lose, Fred. It's okay.
And
We
here's
already
a gift.
lost.
This is a gift for you guys. How many moons does Abydos appear to have?
Oh.
That's
I know this one.
Fred, do you know the answer?
I'm hesitating between like 3 different answers. I counted them the other day and I can't remember.
I was going to make a joke to Jeff, and I don't think I ever actually said it, but I was thinking like, Tatooine, sandy planets, they can't copy them and do 2, so why don't they just add 1 more and do 3? So,
That's my first guess. 3, yeah.
yeah.
Does Tatooine have 2 moons? It has 2 suns.
That's two
Yeah,
sons.
sorry, that's what I meant, yeah.
I think it has at least 3 moons.
Jeff, shut up.
All right. You guys got it. 3 moons.
Got it.
Well done.
Easy one, thank
You ended up in second place, tied.
Linda, in reverse order.
In reverse order,
The final
Harrison
tally.
Badger with 2, with 5 points, Nicole and Frederick. Jeff and
Go for
Marsha
number
have
4
6.
first. Go number 4.
Summer and Alan have 7. And
Hold on,
yay,
Summer.
Jeremy and Sonia have 10.
That's
Wow.
great,
done.
guys.
7, 6,
Great job,
5.
Sonia.
Yeah,
Mm.
perfect.
So,
You got
so
everyone right.
I finished better than Nicole, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You and Marcia together.
You got her by 1 point.
Yes. Ooh.
We got
Jeff
it.
and I did watch the movie together, and I was giving good commentary. I want that
Well,
noted.
you talk a lot.
He didn't know about the Tyler and Charlie thing, actually, so that was really fun as well. You know, he got a whole load of lessons about that. So,
Did you all learn a few things about this movie that you didn't know
Yes.
before?
Yeah.
Definitely.
loads.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I learned that Tom is a sassy guy, and I'm obsessed with it.
Uh,
That's the right kind of attitude I want in my trivia.
Uh-huh. Wow.
That's right.
Tom puts the Maybourne in trivia, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, did you? God, Tom, did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Thank you. This is now I understand a little more. I know you got your fingers in a ton of piles with this gate stuff, and this is now I know what this. Now I know what this one's about. That's cool.
Yeah.
You are
We always
performing
have a good time.
in February, and I'm
Yeah.
planning on coming up and seeing you. Can you
Oh.
tell us about the production, where it is, when it's going to be, and what you're doing in it?
Okay, this is a play written by an actor, a writer named Lucas Nath, Hnath, and he's taken Henrik Ibsen's play *The Doll's House*, which was sort of what they call one of the first feminist plays,
Yeah.
where written in 1892 or something like that.
1879.
1879.
Close.
Thank you. He was a Norwegian writer, but wrote most of his stuff after he left Norway. And he wrote a play called *The Doll's House*. And Nora leaves her husband and children and walks out, and the last visual in the play is Torvald is sitting at the table. His wife has walked out, and you hear, and the door slams, and the lights go down, and that's the end of the play. Nath has taken this play and moved it 15 years farther ahead, and Nora comes back home. And she needs something from Torvald, her husband. She has assumed that they divorced, and she has become a writer, writing books about how to leave your husband. If you should, and this is why you should, if you should, then do it. And some judge's wife has left him, and he finds the book and realizes that's why his wife left him. So he tries to find out who this woman is. and she's writing under a pseudonym. And he goes to the publisher and says he will ruin the publisher unless he gets the name. And he finds out who it is. It's this Nora. And he finds her and tells her then she's not allowed to sign contracts. She's not allowed to do a lot of things she's doing based on the law. And he's going to ruin her unless she pulls all her books and retracts everything she said. So she comes back because she's not, and he finds out that she's not divorced. So she comes back was assumed that they had divorced. And so there's four fabulous scenes, two-hander scenes between Nora and the maid who's looked after the kids and Torvald for 15 years. And then between Torvald and her husband, and then one between Torvald and Nora, and one between Torvald and her daughter, who was 3 when she left and is now 18 and getting married. And then the final scene with Nora and her husband again. And it just examines a lot of questions from both sides of the male-female point of view about marriages and falling apart. And it's a very intimate little show. And the writing is fantastic. It's the kind of writing you get into when you do some of the great American classics like Death of a Salesman or, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. When you get into that kind of writing, as an actor, you just feel blessed because you can dig forever. And even while you're playing the show, you keep going deeper and deeper into the character, finding more colors to the character. And I suppose it's like your arc, if you're in a series over 7 or 8 years or 10 years, you keep finding the writers keep finding, well, and I found different stuff with Maybourne as we went along. He was very two-dimensional or one-dimensional to start with, and even as the military guy, they started to put depth into him, or I started to find the depth that was already there by having other stuff to say and having to build. How do I say that? Where does that come from? That wasn't in that kind of thing wasn't in the last script. So as long as you can keep getting the character deeper, it becomes joyful. So,
wow. Who are you playing?
I'm playing Torvald, the husband.
You're playing the husband.
Yeah, I couldn't be playing the maid, and I'm not playing the 18-year-old daughter. I'm the only guy in the show.
Wow.
I really enjoy the piece, and although it's still set in the time frame of 1895 or 1898 or whatever, 15 years after she left and slammed the door. The vernacular, the words the guy uses, and some of the imagery and stuff and the pace of it, and it's written in modern American lingo. So, and with not with the sense of how they used to write in a very old-fashioned kind of way.
Are you in period clothing?
Fluvog, who is a fantastic Canadian shoemaker up here, does magnificent shoes, and they're one of the sponsors. So the shoes are out of this world. And Nora is dressed in this red outfit that just kind of blows your mind. And the daughter is dressed in some pretty fashionable stuff. The stuff I'm wearing is more traditional. Okay. So
reflective of the character, for sure.
Yeah.
And so this is February?
Yeah, this is in February. And in a small little theater here in town. It's a different space than we did it in last time. But it's a really interesting space. I've seen a lot of theater there. So, and it holds about 100 people. So
yeah,
it's quite intimate. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Leary Theater. Wait. This is Niagara University. I'm looking at this wrong.
No, this is called the Pacific Theater.
Oh, Pacific Theater.
Yeah, here in Vancouver.
Okay, and you've done it once before.
Yes. Yeah, we did it. We did it last winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
February 5th to the 23rd. That is awesome.
Yeah. So if any of you are in Vancouver, come and see it. There you go. I have nothing coming up. I've auditioned for 1,000 things in the last year and worked on one, and it was one day.
Mhm.
Jeff's nodding along.
So it's
Jeff's an actor. He gets it.
Nicole does too because she reads with me when I take my auditions.
I do all his auditions with him over call. So yeah.
Yeah.
I got 2 parts this year, and they were both 1 day and 2 days.
The COVID stuff has really changed the way
It has. I kind of like it though.
Well, I
because
enjoy. You can do it until you like it yourself.
Yes, but that is also a bit of a problem because you can work on a one-liner for like an hour.
Right.
Yeah. Now we used to
Go
go,
into
and
the
you used to be able to go into a room with the producers and the director, and
Yeah.
so you would have a personal effect.
Yes.
And you could also, because it was also live, they can't, although they tend to look down at their screens, their little TVs when they're doing it, the personal effect is still there. So they pick up energy in the room from what you're doing, which they don't do.
Yeah, it's really hard with the
don't do on a
self-tapes.
screen. And in 3 seconds, they can look at the screen and just go, no, that guy doesn't look right. And they can move on.
Yeah, but you
So
can't.
I try to be funny in my slates to.
I was going to
add
say the
that
slate.
personality.
Yeah,
One
but
of the
the
roles I
slate's
got,
often-
I was like, I know you're looking for a guy named Stork. I'm not tall and skinny, but I am short and fat. And I went, "Boom." And then the director said that's why he hired me, just for that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Good for you. I haven't tried that yet.
I recommend it.
The frustrating thing is you can't show that you can take a note.
Take a note
and
too.
take
Yeah,
direction.
yeah. That's another thing in in-person auditions. Yeah.
Yeah, only if you get a Zoom call back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, anyone else have anything for Tom before we...
Oh, I'd like to ask him what was his favorite scene or episode in Stargate SG-1?
Oh,
Gotta
I
be
don't.
something with Rick.
No, I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff with Rick. Like there's a lot of memorable stuff, and a lot of them are sort of moments from different places. I mean, I can remember when, and I don't even know what episode it was, but it was early on when I was still a military guy, and I was actually working. I felt like I was working with Amanda
Tapping.
with Tapping, and I felt like he fell in love with her.
Yeah.
and he thought there was possibilities.
Yeah, this is Foothold.
Foothold?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there was, and I just thought, oh wow, I wonder if that's true. Oh wow.
She didn't like me.
there was other great times when she did that classic line of her, "Can't you take a day off?" Like those are sort of times, and moments when Rick would do silly stuff like say, "Oh, we're Starsky and Hutch. He's Starsky and I'm Hutch," and you just go,
that wasn't scripted.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. And he's looking at you, waiting for you to respond while the cameras are rolling to get that look live.
Wow.
And they did say that I got told a couple of times that, oh, we're glad you're back because Rick has been down for a while. And every time you come on, he's good for another month or two. And
it was a good time.
And I think he did enjoy me because he could fuck around a bit. And then he would look at my face to see what I would come back with, and I could never come back with anything like really, really clever, and it was usually the look on my face of desperation that he used to love.
Wow.
But I mean, I loved things too when I felt comfortable enough to do stuff that wasn't scripted, and how much that they enjoyed that when that would happen. The time when after I had been frozen and I escaped in my funny outfit with the long socks and the Panama hat, and I danced down towards the band, the steel drum band, and I grabbed one of the extras who was walking across my path and started dancing. And so we just danced all the way down, and they never said cut till we got the bottom, and then there was a huge applause at the end.
Well, that was a
And
huge
I
pivot
thought-
for the character because they were like, "Oh, we can see where this can go in kind of a little bit more light way."
And it was just, but they didn't use much of it, but they used a little bit of it. But it did open up doors, I think, for the writers. And when they burst into applause, I thought, "Oh, I'm part of the club now."
Yeah.
And then there was another time when we were off planet, and he was fishing, and I just threw out some
C4
plastic explosive, then walked in and grabbed the fish, and then I didn't know what to do, and they hadn't said cut, so I just started throwing fish at him. And at the end of that, and he started jumping around, and at the end of that, there was a huge applause once they said cut too. And so it was times like that where there was also time like in that same thing when I was supposed to throw grenades at him, and I said, "You know, you guys tell me I'm a military guy. I've never thrown a grenade. How do I throw a grenade?" And they would look at me like, "What's the matter with you? You should be doing your research."
Really?
You know, and I'd go. I said, "But I'm not military now." So they taught me how to throw a grenade and stuff. So
Wow.
you could feel helpless and magic on the same episode. So
I respect that you
Amazing.
can go toe to toe with RDA and like get that chemistry out. It's why it worked so well. I love it.
well, once we were working on a stage piece, and we were on First Avenue before they built it up. So we were in sort of a warehouse, the theater, a space where we worked, and the big doors had opened. We were on a coffee break, and so we were all hanging out, having a smoke and a coffee. And Richard came by on a bicycle. He was just zooming by, and he looked, and then he kept going, and then all of a sudden he put the brakes on it, and he came back, and he said, "Tom, what's going on?" And so I explained to him we were working on this play, and he said, "Yo, God, you're so lucky. God, you're lucky." He said, "Oh, that would be so nice. Boy, you have an interesting life." And then he hopped on his bike and away he went. So and you're sort of thinking, you go, "My God, I've got an interesting life compared to you."
Well, he only had a capacity for 2 fingers of script. You know, that was about all that his brain would take. He was much more interested in riffing. Peter DeLuise has repeatedly told us that the 2-finger rule. That's you know, but you know, other people can inhale dialogue and then regurgitate it in sequence in a performance night after night. I couldn't do that. I don't know how you do that. It's a muscle.
Now, and this is a story I've told many times. I think it was the 3rd or 4th episode, and I was in for a lunch hour reading. And so everybody came off, had their lunches, and sitting around, and the producer not Greenspan, Greenburg was sitting at the table, and we got to a certain point, and there was a big laugh at a line I delivered, and he said, "You know, you're such a good actor, Tom. Why the hell didn't you work for us on MacGyver?" And I looked at him and I said, "I auditioned for you bastards 50 fucking times, and you never hired me. That's why I never worked on your fucking MacGyver." And the table burst into laughter. And I said it like that. And of course, I wasn't really angry, and I was having fun saying it because I felt comfortable enough at the time. But just getting back to this 2-line thing, there's a series that we watched, a BBC series called Foyle's War, and a guy named Michael Kitchen plays the lead part in it, and he's a beautiful actor, beautiful British actor, older guy. And I think they did 5 seasons, and then they added 3 more later. And he's a detective in a small town, or a policeman. But he also, the writer that wrote that, gosh, what's his name? I can't pull it up at the moment.
Tony
but
Horowitz?
Famous British writer. Sorry?
Anthony Horowitz?
Yes, Horowitz.
Wow.
And he told Horowitz, "I don't want, like, please underwrite me." He says, I want to be able to do stuff with my pauses and with my eyes and where I look, and I want to use my mask. So I want the fewer lines you give me, the happier I'll be. And it is tremendous what he does with those few lines. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing with Rick. You know, that's
Yeah.
it's not the amount that you give him, it's what you give him and what he does with it. Because one of his things is riffing, and he's able to dial it in, and it's like find things that wasn't there before, or that you can tell that the writer's teeing him up.
Yeah, and with Kitchen just manages to what he says, what he doesn't say, he goes deeper with. You understand what he's thinking, but unable to say. It's like it's deeper than if he had words to say something. It's quite amazing, that kind of stuff.
Tom, this has been terrific having you and sharing time together.
Always.
It's nice to see you ladies again, and I'm sorry I don't immediately remember.
So
It's all good.
it was
And,
what, an hour?
For sure.
Yeah, I got to dance down the beach with you, so I really won out here.
I still have that
so-
footage. We haven't released it yet. I'm
I'm
working on
excited.
it. Yep.
Yeah, and someday I'm gonna get you to autograph our photo from that day. It came out really great. It has like a rainbow across the front because it was kind of taken into the sun.
Oh, well, listen.
It's like my favorite. I love that picture.
Listen, you through David, if you can, send them to me, and I'll certainly autograph them. So next time you're in Vancouver, bring them, and I'll do them.
Okay.
If you guys, you in the group here and also in the chat and watching later, those of you who are with us right now, you can refresh the YouTube page, and there's a link to buy tickets to A Doll's House Part 2 at the Pacific Theater. I got it right. But if you're in Vancouver in February, for sure, go and see Tom.
And it's short.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's only like 80 minutes, and you can laugh in it at the outrageousness in it too. So.
All right. Tom,
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks,
Thank
Tom.
you.
Pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
Be well, Tom.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, guys, if you want to hang back, guys, I'm going to wrap up the show, and I'll be back with you in a moment.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to get out.
Yeah, lower right side, there's a button that says leave. Push it.
Bye.
All right.
I think I got to go to the big picture.
Absolutely.
I have to go to the big picture first, I think. Okay, there it is. Oh, leave. Okay, it's a door. It's a door.
It's a Stargate.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll be right back, guys. That is Tom McBeath, Harry Maybourne, Archon the First from Stargate SG-1. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys had a good time. Tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of the film. I think I'm going to have to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a while myself, so I think that's a good date to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you had some fun and learned some things that you didn't know before. My appreciation to Anthony for keeping everyone behaving in the chat. Before we let you go, if you like Stargate, you enjoy what you've seen in this episode, please click like. It does help us grow our show and our audience. And if you enjoyed it, consider sharing it with a Stargate friend. And if you want to get notified about future episodes, click subscribe. And giving the bell icon a click will notify you the moment a new video drops, and you'll get my notifications of any last-minute guest changes. And clips from this episode will be released over the next few months on the Dial the Gate YouTube channel. Thanks so much to my producer, Linda Gate Gabber Fury, my moderating team, Tracy, Anthony, Jeremy, Marcia, and Summer. You guys keep the show going week after week. Frederick Marcoux at Concepts Web keeps dialthegate.com up and running. I think that's all that we've got for you here. Keep it on dialthegate.com. We've got a few new episodes coming up next weekend as well. Colin Cunningham is going to be joining us, as well as Linda Gategaber Fury and I are going to be back to discuss Stargate fan creations that we've found over the last year. My name is David Reed for Dial the Gate, and I'll see you on the other side.